October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. Interestingly enough, Brianna Cope, Vice President of Empty Arms, an organization here in Saskatoon, was telling me that reportedly 25 to 30% of pregnancies end in the death of a baby. That's a shocking statistic to me, Brianna. You yourself know how that affects a family and yourself because you lost your son, Marlo. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in August of 2013, we went for a routine 20-week ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech was, kind of taking her time, and we, she was saying things weren't measuring quite right, and but we left hopeful because she had said everything was there and accounted for, and we ended up going in to see our family doctor a couple of weeks later, finding out that that wasn't the case. Went for a follow-up ultrasound and found out that he in fact had no kidneys. And so when babies don't develop kidneys in utero, their lungs can't develop, so they'll never be able to breathe once they're born. And because we were past the 12 weeks, I didn't imagine that there was any danger left. I thought we were past that point of concern, where we were going to be going home with a healthy baby at this point. So to then have to start planning to go and meet our son and say goodbye to him all at once, it was absolutely overwhelming. Afterwards, we left the hospital with so many regrets. I never sang to my son. I never read to my son. I didn't dress him or bathe him. Everything was done by someone else because I didn't really know that that was an option for me. So then when I met Jasmine Herchak, our founder and president of Empty Arms, she had an even more devastating birth than we did. She didn't get pictures, she didn't get any time with her daughter, she got nothing. Her nursing staff was very clinical, medical, and made sure that they took care of her, of Jasmine, that she was healthy and safe, but didn't make any recommendations as far as making time and spending time with her daughter. So she was even more so impassioned to start an organization like this. And so we sort of came together, and I took her passion and vision and my sort of fundraising and event planning abilities, and we just launched it off the ground. And that was just back in June of last year. And then we had our first family that we served in June. And over the summer, we got a board together, and now we have about anywhere from 30 to 50 contributing volunteers at any given time.
So creating Empty Arms, has it helped you heal in any way?
Oh, immensely. Yeah. That's, people often say, I don't know how you can do that. I don't, or you guys are such amazing people to be able to help people like that. And while it's true that there's only, certain types of people, because it does take a big emotional toll on us.
Of course.
There's also a big sort of selfish aspect to it, in that we get to honor and remember our babies with every birth that we attend, or every family that we counsel, or every grandma that we help, and tell them that, of course, if you want to go down and see and hold your grandson, of course you can, like, these are questions that families ask us because they honestly don't know, just like we didn't know. So when we're contacted by a family, we let them know basically all of their options as far as what they can do to make the most out of the short time that they have left, whether baby's still alive or not. Just because your baby is born not breathing doesn't mean you don't get to spend that time with them and make the most of that time. So they come down with a book for them to read to their baby, a stuffed animal that they can, snuggle with their baby. Some send it to be buried with them, some take it home so that they have something with them that touched their baby that they get to keep forever.
Creating those memories.
Absolutely, yeah.
Through Empty Arms, you really get to honor and remember your babies, and that's what you're doing with the second annual walk coming up on October 2nd. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so No Foot Too Small is the second annual Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Walk.
Okay.
So basically what we do, with that walk is we start here at the Vimy Bandshell, and we walk. Last year we had about, I think, 87 participants. This year we have about double that so far registered. And we walk to the Edwards Family Center, which is actually where our support groups are held monthly, our support group meetings.
Good.
And we have a banner, and we have balloons, and we get our kids come with us, and we get to just walk and remember our babies and the babies of our friends, family, and just show the world that they mattered, and they still matter to us. They're extremely important.
And surprisingly, it's actually a lot more common than I ever thought. You mentioned to me 4 to 8 babies a week?
Yeah, so on average there's around 4 babies that pass away in either in utero or shortly after birth at RUH alone. And you know, in some weeks they've had up to around 8. And those are just the ones that actually come in and need assistance in labor and delivery. So that doesn't include anything earlier than the 20-week period where they are sent home to, you know, miscarry by themselves, or even just in emergency sometimes for some of those earlier losses. So that's strictly sort of what we call more a viable baby who has then passed away or will.
I absolutely love this organization because I can only imagine that there may be a lot of guilt that comes with losing a child like that. Is that true?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, there's guilt everywhere you look in baby loss. I mean, everything from what did I do? Where did I go wrong? Yeah, how did I not keep this baby alive? That's the only thing you're supposed to do as a mother when you have a baby inside you is to keep it alive. And you know, we're told as soon as you're pregnant, you go in to see your doctor, and you're told if you do everything right, you know, take your prenatals, exercise, eat healthy, avoid certain things, you know, that you're going to end up with a healthy, happy baby.
Exactly.
And so when you're blindsided like we were, and like everyone is, of course the first thing we turn to is guilt. And then many families have guilt on top of guilt. Like in our case, you know, we had to deal with people saying, why didn't you just let nature take its course? You know, why did you induce? Why didn't you let him go full term? But can you imagine having a baby living inside of you for another 3 to 4 months that you knew was going to die? And, you know, random people coming up to you and saying, you must be so excited.
Right, of course. Yeah.
And trying to explain to your 2-year-old why, even though mommy's still pregnant and belly's getting bigger every day, why she's not going to have a little brother to take home.
Wow. Well, it's definitely more of a cause that people should learn about, which is, it's great to hear that you're having a 2nd annual walk, and it's even more well received by the community this year.
Yes.
So whether you yourself have experienced something like this, you know of someone who's experienced something like this, or you just want to come out and support this extremely important cause and get that awareness out, the 2nd annual walk, October 2nd, kicking off right here at Vimy Memorial in Kiwanis Park. Time?
Starts at 1:30, and it'll wrap up roughly around 4 o'clock at the Edwards Family Center. Of course, there's usually a few tears shed and some hugs that last a little longer than expected. There is a registration form and a waiver form, but you can do that on our Facebook page. There's a link at the top of our Facebook page, or you can search us on Facebook, just Empty Arms, and it'll come right up.
Well, Brianna, thank you so much for coming out here to Kiwanis Park to talk more about Empty Arms' 2nd annual walk on October 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you.